What's going on, guys? This is Vulkan, and today we are kicking off a series of videos to cover all the new details revealed for Magic Legends over the past couple months, and today covers the first part, and that's deck building and how it'll work. So for a lot of you that have followed me and Magic Legends a little bit, you guys know that I'm not exactly thrilled, right? I'm not exactly super excited about the game, and a lot of that is just because it's unknown. I don't know how things are going to work. I don't know how economy is going to work, how combat was going to work, how deck building was going to work, gearing, progression. There was just so much unknown. All we really had to go on was a few 20-minute gameplay sessions, and those didn't show off too much outside of casting a few different spells. So the developers helped kind of dispel a lot of that unknown with a new series they kicked off, kind of showing off a lot of the content of the game, a lot of the design philosophies, where they were taking the game, and they started off with deck building and how the deck building was going to work. Eventually they got into the gearing process, and we'll get into that in a future video. But this one I really want to talk about deck building because we finally know how it'll work, how it's going to look, and what we can do in terms of creating a deck. Will our class restrict the type of colors we can use? Will some colors not be able to deal damage but only be able to manipulate things or buff and debuff things? All of that gets explained in this video, so let's dive into it. Now, first things first, the devs had one goal: fuse together deck building and action RPG gameplay, but try to keep it as true to the source material as possible and keep it fun. And that was something that I think was missing from the gameplay we saw. It didn't look fun. It looked way too close to the source material, which we've seen from other franchises. If they stay too close to source material, then oftentimes they have to sacrifice fun things and things that are just like out of the norm and off the wall because it didn't exist in that universe. So they can't deviate too far from that due to licensing, things like that. Well, from what we know in Magic Legends today, going through deck building, this is going to be a little bit different. We know that you can have 12 cards in a deck now. So you can have 12 spells. These are summon spells. These are attack spells, buff spells. It doesn't matter what they are. So on your screen now, you're going to see a UI for the deck building interface, right? And we have Urza Ruha, a Geomancer loadout, and you can see that there is red and green. So that answers the question that we had of, if I choose a Geomancer, am I going to be stuck with a red style deck and only a red style deck? That's not the case at all. You can combine red and green, it looks like. And that goes into another topic where they talked about you can have whatever colors you want in your deck. If you start out with a Geomancer, you can have a deck full of black and blue and not have any red in your deck at all. You can have white and red. You can do any sort of combination that you would like, but I believe it's still capped at 2 colors, I believe. Now, they haven't said that. That has just been things that Game Informer talked about when they first got to go play the game. They said it's a cap of 2. Maybe they change that in the future and you can have all the colors if you wanted, but for now, that's what we're going to go off of. And we can pull a few things from this image, right? We have something called gold. That's obviously going to be your currency that I'm assuming you're going to get from dead enemies. You have something called Aether, which might be used to upgrade cards and things like that. We got a preview of a card called the Spore Cap Spider, which shows damage, its health, its roll, its speed, how many shards it's going to take to upgrade 0 out of 15. We see its special ability, firing a projectile that deals 200% of its damage over 3 seconds to a target and applying a stun to the duration. It is a creature. At the bottom it says 2 points, and it's rank 1. We can also see from this screenshot that you can have different decks. As current deck 1 of 3, that's something red-green. You can add different ones. Along the top we see loadout, guide, map, so that's going to be kind of our interfaces that we're going to be able to interact with. And then you can add spell and upgrade spell at the bottom. So finally nice to see what the UI will look like, how the deck building is going to work. And there were a few other things, right? Each character is going to start with a single color deck depending on your class. Geomancer starts off with red, while Beast color starts with green, but as you progress, you're going to slowly gain access to other colors. And the devs did put together a chart that shows off what each color in-game will specialize in. White is going to specialize in healing, control, protection, and retribution. Blue is control, efficiency, manipulation, and defensive creatures. Black is life drain, raising the dead, sacrifice for gain, and single target damage. Red is damage, aggression, offensive creatures, and quote, enter the battlefield effects. Green is healing, mana ramping, buffing creatures, and strong creatures. So as you can see, a lot of these kind of stick close to the source material in terms of Magic the Gathering. However, there are going to be some differences. So they did call out that, you know, there's going to be differences between the card game and the action RPG in terms of what each color can do. And the example they gave was all colors can deal direct damage in this game, whereas in the card game, only red, black, and white can deal direct damage. And they did this because you don't want to build up a deck full of blue cards and then you can't deal any damage at all, and then so that will have people stray away from using blue unless they're in a party. So there's all sorts of interesting things that you can do, but I'm glad they decided to go this direction, right? This is a key thing that they needed to change in order to make this game effective and worthwhile, because if they didn't change this, it would be so close to the source material that it would completely kill off some of the colors. You don't want to play an action RPG and go, okay, well, these colors are reserved to team play only, or buffing this and buffing that, and it completely kills the flow. So by having damage tied to all the different colors, I think this is a strong move, and they need to continue doing things like this in order to make the action RPG fun. So the last thing I want to talk about before wrapping this up is upgrading spells. Players are going to be able to upgrade spells, and honestly, you get currency and upgrade shards after defeating enemies, completing missions, conquering challenges, or progressing through level ups, things like that. The big thing that really kind of threw people off was they said, oh yeah, card upgrades are your loot. That's your loot. You kill something, you complete a quest, you do this, you do that, you get card upgrade shards. And as cool as that is to upgrade your spells, that doesn't necessarily translate well into an action RPG where things are typically about gear and character progression and finding that piece of loot that really brings your build together. And we'll be talking about gear, deck building, combat in a few more videos in this series. And the next video is going to be deck building part 2. That's going to go into the combat, mana costs, rotations, random hands. All of that stuff is going to be revealed and talked about. And then we're going to go into realms, artifacts, gearing, all of that stuff in the video beyond that. So I hope this was really interesting for you guys. I know I was excited to finally see a lot of what was coming out of this game. There was a lot of unknown to it. We have a long time to go before we actually get to see it. But I'm starting to like what I'm seeing so far, and I think this game is going to find its niche, and especially because it's coming to consoles as well as PC. So let's get to talking below. What do you guys think so far about Magic Legends? What do you guys think about the deck building aspect? Do you like that they're deviating a little bit from the source material, or do you think that, you know, they need to keep it as close to Magic the Gathering as possible in order to preserve that IP? Either way, let's get to chatting downstairs, guys. Thank you so much for everything. Appreciate the support. This has been Vulkan, and I'll talk to you guys next time.